Hello and welcome to the Pin Man. Today I have the Hong Dian 6016. This pin retails, I got it for $18 off of Amazon, but it only was available with a medium nib. But you can also get it in from AliExpress for anywhere between $20 and $30, so right around there. So the range, $18 to $30. Materials on the pin are wood and chrome-plated brass, and you have this the finial there, just basically a round, simple round, and then it has this kind of textured or ribbed, if you will, band there. Not a separate band, it's just stamped in. Then you have this wood barrel. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. I think they said it was walnut or maybe some sort of rosewood, but it's not highly figured, but for this style of pin, probably a highly figured wood might not go quite well with the, just the overall look. But then on the cap finial, just basic round, and then you have this Chinese script on there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There you go. I have no idea what all that means, but there you have that. The clip is a rocker style, but you're not going to be able to push it from here to get it to go. And it is very tight. So you might have to struggle a little bit getting it clipped on. On the band, all right, it says Hong Dian, then 6016, and I think that's Lan Tian, right there before the Hong Dian. The cap comes off in 1 3/4 turns. You have plastic thread insert on the inside of this cap. The pin does post. Zoom out a little bit there. It posts securely, and it is back weighted. I wouldn't say uncomfortably so, but it is back weighted. Now, if you like to hold your pin back, and usually with a smaller nib, this is a number 5, then it's not too bad, because then the weight's resting on this part of your hand, so it's not too bad. I'm not really sure, but where I think the threads on the inside of this cap are gripping right around here. So over time, that may wear on the wood. And I'm not sure that wouldn't start looking kind of bad. Go up to the grip here. You have this kind of an angled step down. It's not sharp. So it's really comfortable. Then you have the threads, and they are not sharp at all. And you come down to the grip section, and you have these, this texture, these lines, they're etched in. And, that kind of helps a little bit with grip, since it's a metal section. Then it flares at the end, and then you come to the nib. Okay, so there's your nib, and there's your basic plastic feed. On the nib, I'm going to zoom in there, get this camera to stop shaking. On the nib, you have the very familiar filigree type border, And then you have, it says 1997 just below the breather hole there. And then you have the Hong Dian logo. And then underneath that, you have 3 lines. The one is Lan Tian. The next is Li Shui. And the next is Zhe Jiang. And I probably massacred the pronunciation there. What all that means is the Lan Tian can mean blue sky, and then the Li Shui means beautiful water, and then Zhe Jiang means crooked river. All right, now that doesn't necessarily mean that's the message that it was trying to convey. More likely, it was talking about where at least the nib, if not the whole pin, was made. And I looked this up on Google Earth, and sure enough, the Lan Tian is a county in China, in this particular province in China. And then the next Li Shui is a city in I don't know, Zhejiang province, and then so it's a city. Li Shui is in the province of the Zhejiang. So, and if you look at the map, it does have a river going through the area, and so that's probably what all that is talking about. The nib does not have any indication as far as the tip size, but this is a medium tip. Now there's 2 colors that this will come in. It comes in this chrome, and then I've seen it in a gold plated version. The gold plated seems to be kind of hard to find, but you may be able to get it sometime if you look around. So when you open it up, this is a cartridge converter pin, and they are proprietary. This is, it looks like a standard international, but it is proprietary. And I'll show you an example. Hong Dian likes to use these proprietary converters and cartridges. I pulled this out of my Black Max, Hong Dian Black Max. I think this is 1860. Anyway, here's the converter, and you can see there we go. You can see how much wider the mouth of that is. And this is your standard international standard. This is supposed to be a standard, but I call it proprietary. So you can see the difference there. So anyway, just a little bit of information for you. The total length of this pin is 140 millimeters. The body from nib tip to body finial is 123 millimeters. The body girth is 12 millimeters. Oh, I'm sorry, posted, it is 154 millimeters. It's really not too long. The grip length from the end of the threads up to that shortest or the thinnest portion right there is 20 millimeters, and then if you include the threads, 24 millimeters. The grip girth right in the middle is 9.5 millimeters. So it goes from 11 millimeters to 8.5 millimeters. So the size is fairly comfortable. It's a little bit small for me. But once I use it, if I just get this out and start writing with it for a little bit, then it, I do fine. But it is a little bit small. So capping, and I'm not going to cap and uncap. I could use this capped. That wouldn't be a problem. But again, I don't really want to mess up the wood. All right. Now, is this slippery? It is sometimes. Like, I have noticed when I'm writing, sometimes I'll pick it up and it'll kind of slip. And I think part of that, besides being a metal grip section, I mean, you do have that texture, which helps, or the ribbing there that helps. Some of it is this highly sanded wood, and which isn't bad. I don't mind that at all, except it is kind of somewhat slippery, but it just kind of helps. It doesn't grip on there. Like if you have a lacquered body, sometimes that'll give a little bit of a grip, or of course acrylic, you have some grip there. What I think I'm gonna try is taking some, I use a CA glue when I make my wood pens. For instance, I have this Bacardi, and right there, this is like an acrylic finish, and it does give you a little bit of grip. How do you like that wood grain? Anyway, so I think I might try that on here to see if that works. If I can figure out if I can get this on my lathe to be able to run it and not mess up the chrome and all that. So I don't know. Alrighty. Well, how about some size comparisons of this Hong Dian 6016? All right, as far as size comparisons, you have the Hong Dian 6016, you have a Schaefer Sagari, you have a Pilot Metropolitan, and a Twisby Eco. And here they are uncapped and posted. All right, I'm going to writing sample for this Hong Dian 6016. The ink that I'm using is Monteverde. Cherry Danish. Or their Sweet Life line. Let's see. Writes well. Very rarely will it do a hard start or skip, but it has done it at times. But it's not too often. As far as wetness, yeah, not too bad. Line variation, not really. Reverse writing. Does a good job there. Not really scratchy at all. And it keeps up. Yeah, see, there was a little bit of a hard start there. But it isn't aggravating, so it doesn't happen so much that, you just can't stand it no more and all. So all in all, it is a very smooth writer. And yeah, I like this pen. Okay, I'll tell you what, that's the writing sample, so we'll go to some closing thoughts on the pen. Alrighty, what do I think about this pen? I think the looks of the pen is very nice. There's a Mont Blanc style that's kind of similar to this. I think it's their UNICEF, the tribute pen that is kind of like that, has some UNICEF symbols. I think on Mont Blanc's they put I think it's the first letters or maybe the first and last letter of the alphabet for a lot of different languages, whatnot. But this is, it's different enough to where it's unique, and they didn't try to copy that. This is just Chinese script. So anyway, it's inspired, definitely inspired by that one, I would say. But it does have a nice wood finish, and I like that. Now, my only concern about the wood, and I've seen this on some other, I've read it on some other reviews about cracking in some of these Chinese wood pens. So I mentioned earlier about putting some CA glue and making like an acrylic finish on this. The good thing about CA glue, if you use the thin kind, it'll actually soak into the wood depending on what kind of finish is already on here, but it will soak into the wood and give it more strength. So we'll see. I don't have any of my pens that have been cracking at all. But it's not just these Chinese pens, because I've heard of cracking, wood cracking issues on some other European pens as well. But so that may happen, but I'm not too concerned about it. The size is pretty decent, but it's right on the verge. Thankfully, it has weight to it that, it just helps. A smaller pen, if it has weight, it kind of the weight compensates for the size. So I think that's what happens here. But even still, I don't like writing at sharper angles. And when you got a pen like this, you almost have to. If you hold your grip like that, unless you write back, it's up to you. But you saw the size comparisons. Basically the size of the pens that I showed you. So that'll give you some indication on this pen. If you like smaller pens, then this will fit your bill. If you like those nice girthier pens, you probably won't like this one. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's pretty nice. Opens, uncaps with 1 3/4 turns, which is decent. At least it's not 2. And it can be a print magnet sometimes on these chrome parts. But otherwise, I don't know. It's a decent pen for, at the max, close to $30. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good buy. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below, and be sure to check out these other 2 videos. All right, you have a great day.